Test, test. Hey guys, I think I got the mic working now. I'm gonna try that. Hey, sorry for the delay there. I had to get the mic working. It's not my regular setup because I'm away from my computer and recording station. Either way, ready to go. So I ended up buying a haul of fly tying stuff from a older gentleman who passed away and closed down his fly shop. And I got everything in front of us, 2 garbage bags and a box for under $100. So we're gonna go through the whole thing and check out everything I got. I've looked through some of it, most of it I haven't looked through, so this will be a first for me too. It's all been sitting in my garage, freezing, so I don't have to worry about bugs or any issues with transferring new equipment or new material. And sorry for the delay there. Mic working on my regular stuff. So, shop that closed down was Freddy's Custom Flies and Supplies from Knutsford, BC. If anyone has any information about Freddy or his shop, let me know. It's not very far from me. It's the Crow Flies, maybe hour and a half or so, but it's just not down a valley. It's several mountain ranges away from me that I would normally be going down, especially for fly time material. My guess is he closed down probably in the 80s, I would say, late 80s maybe. As a lot of this material is more on the vintage side, but it could just be extra stock that he had. I bought it off a family friend of his, who inherited the material when he passed away. So, yep, we're gonna go through, look at Freddy's Custom Flies and Supplies, and all the new stuff I get to play with. Now there isn't a lot of room on this table. Probably we'll have to do this several times. I also have my coffee table set up, so we might have to move over there once we run out of room. So I don't think we're gonna get all of this fitting on the table. So I'm gonna move these bags off the side, and we'll just start laying it out here and moving it as we go. Sorry guys, this is a little bit awkward for me. Trying to get all the lighting and cameras and everything. I have enough room to do all this. I think what we'll try and do is, I don't know exactly what order it's going to come out in. We're going to try and organize it, I guess, in feathers on one side, furs and whatnot on the other side, and I'll try and get maybe the smaller synthetic materials and whatnot along the front. And if we run out of room on this table, I'll move us over to the coffee table. First things we got whole bunch of this old school um, Rufus Ruckus. It's basically a plant fiber, but you can use it as a cap on nymphs. You can use it as a body wrap. This is basically what you would have before they came out with the French or Swiss straw. So this would be the original natural Swiss straw. I got that in a nice green. Got that nice orange. That'll actually go really good for nymph cats. Nice, what do you call that? Beige, I suppose. Brighter green. That's a good sized bag. Basically like a violet red. That could be useful for hot spots and all sorts of different stuff. Maybe even wrap that as a bloodworm. It's like a dark chocolate brown. That would go really nice with like stonefly caps for the thorax. I would assume that's a little bit more of like a natural color for this. Maybe dyed a little bit on the olive side. It's a really nice kind of wine-colored purple. That's gonna go good. The wine color really pops on a lot of different patterns, so that'll be nice. And when you're tying with this, you'd want to soak it first, so it's a little less brittle, especially when it's as old as this stuff is. Well, that's a big load. This one I did use before. It came with a lot. Just an absolute haul of blue, dyed blue mallard flank. It's a nice blue. That's the type of blue I like using for steelhead stuff. So this is gonna be fun for making streamers and such. There's a lot in there too, so that's great. Let's do feathers on this side. No, it's definitely more of a black. The other one was more of a dark brown. Well, this is one I did up, just some polyarn dub, polyarn that was in there. So that, well, let's see. Let's start our synthetics over here. Now this looks like that's borax in it. I would have to say muskrat, probably. Yeah, it looks like muskrat. So, got a full muskrat skin. That'll be great for Adams, March Brown. It's really nice. And what you'll be looking for on these for your Adams is this in the belly here in the white. You get underneath, you can see it's this nice dark gray under, but it's super fine dubbing material. So this will make the classic gray bodied Adams, and just cut off the white or mix it in. And if you want a darker color, you can go on the side where the guard hairs are. These are beautiful guard hairs too. That would make some really nice tails and such. Okay. I'm just gonna move this bag here down on this chair for now. We'll start our fur side. So, one muskrat. This is a beaver for sure. Nice veg tan job on the back, basically rawhide. That's your average chunk of beaver pelt stretched out and dried. So wonderful dubbing. Some used on the top here. This will give you a nice brown waterproof dubbing, so really good for dry flies. The really heavy guard hairs that you can see are really good for tailing materials, or you can even use them as mayfly tails. They're very durable. That's a nice piece there. I can get a lot of flies out of a piece of beaver like that. One sec. A little hard for me to dig in the bottom there, so I'm just going to take out a bunch and we'll go through it as we go. That's a real mixed bag, but it looks like it is all ring-necked pheasant. Yeah, there's the white. So you got your almonds, you got your church windows. So tons and tons of gobs and gobs of flies out of that one bag there. Pretty much every feather on a pheasant like that's going to be useful, so that's great. Lots of good stuff in there. Let's throw feathers here. You don't use these ones as, or at least I don't use these as often, but maybe I will because I apparently have a fair bit of them. This would be for mallard. This is going to be your, not the flanks, but more up on the breast of the mallard, where they have these nice little brown feathers. They're quite small. These make great little wing caps. You can stand them up and just use them as wings. You use them as tailing material, all sorts of stuff. They're a little bit water resistant, so they work great for dry flies as well. There's a good amount there. Looks like there may be some flank mixed in there a little bit. Probably as they plucked around it. That's a good bit. Mallard. Let's put that there. Well, this looks like a mix of some grouse, some pheasant tails in there, some grouse tails. You can see the rough grouse. These would be pheasant, not primer. This would be a primary, but these would be the secondary tail feathers. And maybe some wings, a couple wings in there. Oh, maybe. But a bunch more pheasant, some grouse, really good tailing material. And of course, pheasant nymphs, pheasant tail nymphs. Brain's not working on me. These definitely look like a Canada goose or a type of goose, flat feather. They look kind of medium to large. So I'm guessing Canada goose, just by the color and shape of them. Could be domestic goose too. But yeah, there's a number of patterns you can use those for flats. Wings, tailing material, body wrap, lots of different stuff. Gives you that nice gray color. Water resistant, hydrophobic, so it's good for dry flies. These are interesting. I'm not quite sure. These are cocktailion type, or these would look really good for. I'm not sure if it comes through on the camera, but they're like a light blue, almost translucent. Looks like they have a pretty stiff barb, so these might make some really interesting tails on chironomids or jujubatus kind of things, where you just want a very light accent tail. Yeah, they're almost like glass. Not sure if it'll show up on there, but they're very translucent. They're kind of cool. Wonder how old those are. They're definitely dyed though, because of the fuzz and everything is the same color. So those will make neat crawny tails. Fairly dark black feathers. I'm gonna assume those probably came from. They could basically just be chickaboo. I'm judging by these couple random ones that are in there. It might even be some type of pheasant, or they could be dyed. They look like basically your regular chickaboo feather. Same thing. Ringneck or was it Queen Anne pheasant? You can just see all the neck feathers there. So these ones are kind of mixed up. You can definitely use those for eyes on a streamer. What you can use with like a jungle cock or what have you. They can be used in place of that. Your standard mallard flank. Use them for all sorts of flies. Can't ever get enough of this stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Awesome, awesome. Standard mallard flank. I don't see any change in it, so it's probably mallard. If it was wood duck, you'd get a little bit of a different color. It'd be a little bit more on the yellow side. So, mallard. This just looks like a grab bag of some big old goose feathers. Yeah, looks like there's two. Oh, they're kind of falling apart, but a bunch of big old goose feathers, so definitely make some wraps with that. I'll get some, goose buyouts off this side. This is the flight feather and the flight side. So you have looks like I got a left and a right in there, and a bunch of other scrap, like pheasant feathers. These ones are older and a little beat up, but I can make some use out of them, especially those two big goose feathers. No, it's quite coarse and grainy, so I think this is actually elk and not deer. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, I'll focus on that. Pretty sure that's chunk elk. Rawhide on the back, so veg tan. A little bit on the beat up side, but I mean there's lots of usable hair in there. That's cool. Elk hair caddis. Even if it is deer, I can still use it. Now we got your standard peacock, little package of that. This stuff looks like it might be more from the eye because it's a little bit on the thicker side. It's got that more, I'm not sure if it's going to come up on the camera, but that more kind of orangey mottled look than the green that you get on the side quills, which would be these ones. So these might be better for me to strip and use as quill wraps. Either way, always good to have more peacock. That one there. There's a big old hunk of number of rabbit pelts. And this looks like it was attached to a vest at one point. But yeah, that's definitely rabbit. It's nice and soft. So I'll toss that one there. Ugh. Got a lot of borax in there. These are quite old. Just tell by flight feathers. They've all been cut off. Looks like some of them are wrapped and matched up. Just looking at them, I'm gonna say it's hard to say whether that's mallard or goose, one or the other. I have to take one out and look at it. But yeah, there are lots of, I can definitely find some usable pieces in there, even if a lot of them are getting old and degraded. I can definitely get a lot of slip wings out of the middle, and there's a lot of good buyouts on the main flight sides on some of those. So that's cool. I'm not 100% sure on these ones. They're quite small. I almost want to say starling, but they're not, because they don't have the white specks. And they have a very downy bottom to them, so I'm going to say waterfowl. So this might be someone's attempt at trying to gather a bunch of CDC or around the CDC. They definitely look like they would be water resistant. You see some smaller ones up there which look more like CDC. So, not sure. Could be wood duck, could be mallard. They're really tiny, so it's hard to tell. Those would be useful for lots of different tailing applications and whatnot. You can make wings of them too. Oh, these are cool. Okay, so two squirrel tails. Got your red, tan, and your black. Always good to have some squirrel tail. Make lots of tailing material out of that. Get another one in the fur pile. There's definitely a neck plume. I'm assuming it's probably just from a really nice looking chicken. If anyone knows if that's a specific bird or not, let me know. Definitely looks just like your regular old Rhode Island red. Like your top of the head to the neck, where you cut off for the for a cape. So just is the top of the cape. It's a cute little church window button, so that would be the back of the below the neck on a pheasant. I got 2 of those. You can see the small patch of dried skin there. The back, so veg tanned. Those are cool. These would actually be handy if I was doing some mobile tying. I'd probably grab one of these because I can do a lot with church window feathers. And they're nice and small. I don't have to bring a whole cape with me. This will be the lower. And there's a few kind of church windows mixed in there, but this will be your lower rump, your pheasant rump, the lower bottom half of the pheasant. You can see all the nice material there. I like using these for nymph tails, nymph legs. They're durable enough. They're definitely not as durable as everything, but for as far as pheasant feathers go, they're a little more durable than others, and they have just enough movement in the water. They're a little iridescent, and it's just like peacocks. It's a real magical feather to use, so it works really well for all sorts of stuff. There's a good amount of them in there. Judging by this, you probably had a heart. Had a looks like mostly mallard in there. There's one really small turkey feather. Small turkey feather, some mallard wings there. Use those for slips, caps. A fishmonger in there. That's rather cool. I wonder if this has actually been used. Doesn't seem like it's had a lot of impact, but I'll add that to the box. That's pretty nifty. I think I'll just put it back in there though. Don't need that out on the table. Got some little snips. Always good to have extra snips. These look like just your average, overseas Chinese ones. I could be wrong, but they are just pot riveted to the handles. So not super high quality, but I mean if you're cutting your wire or whatnot. Put those back in. You got some hollow foil. I can use that for sticking on spinners, what have you. This looks like more of his personal fly box, I would think, because it's got some stuff here that is Ruddick's Fly and Tackle Shop from Maple Ridge, BC. So that's a little ways away. It looks quite old. I'd say 70s maybe. 80s. 70s, 80s, somewhere in there. That's rather cool though. Yeah, this one too. Ruddick's Fly Shop. This stuff's kind of neat. 95 cents. So yeah, that must have been a while ago. Stave Falls, BC. There's the phone number. If anyone knows anything about these guys, let me know, because their shops have been, I wasn't able to find anything. Their shops have been closed down for a while. You got any locals down there? Not sure exactly what I would use this for, but this stuff is kind of neat. It's like a sparkle dub, kind of frosted chenille. That's interesting. It looks old. I'm not sure what they use that for, but maybe some steelhead stuff, some ice fishing. I'd probably get ice fishing. But there's just another random bag of that. I think I might put this back in here actually, so we can keep some room on the table. Got a random bag of hackles. That's nice yellow. Some orange in there too. There's some nice grizzly hackles there too. That was actually really pretty, that one in the front there. I could wrap with that. That's cool. This is a beauty. This is awesome. Hard to find this now. This is a, fortunately it's dyed blue. I would still use that for streamers for salmon fishing or steelhead fishing, but that is polar bear. It is really neat stuff. And hard to come by. This is dyed, but polar bear's skin is actually black, and the hair is translucent. It basically looks like a whole bunch of fishing line, basically, and it almost has the same consistency. It's very rough, and then you have a softer but still rough underfur, which you can use as a dubbing, similar to seal fur. I wonder if I can get in here and show you the. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I mean, it is dyed, but their skin is actually completely black underneath, and what that does is it allows the sunshine to hit the polar bear, and the light will actually travel in like fiber optics and heat the animal, and they can still have camouflage while they're getting warmed up from the sunshine. So that's the survival mechanism that they have. Is you would never expect to have a polar bear with black skin, but they have black skin. Keeps them warm and toasty when it's freezing out. So, really happy to have that. That's really cool. I will treasure that piece. Use it for some good streamer flies. Let's throw that in the hide section. There we go. Okay. It's like a kip tail. Kip tail is basically just calf tail. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. Okay, so this is an older kip tail. You can tell it's had some stuff taken off the tip there. I have a love-hate relationship working with this. It's amazing. It works really well. A lot of classic flies use kip tail. The downside with it is it can be a real pain to work with because it is so twisty. So you can get the straighter stuff like this right here would be really good. But you get into this twisted stuff, unless you're looking for that in the pattern to give it that lifelike look when it moves through the water. It can just be a real pain to tie in and try and tame it down. You can even just use like a cheap dollar store, not dollar store, but like a thrift store straightening iron, and you can straighten it, and that makes it a lot better to work with. Just straighten the whole tail. So I'll add that into our fur pile with the squirrel tails. So we got a grab bag of mostly deer. Oh no, there's some coyote So there's Coyote there. A little patch of that wolf? Maybe wolf. Either of those could be. This one here, it's kind of floating around on the bottom. I'll see if I can push it up to the top. Let's just take it out. That is a bunny foot. That is from a snowshoe bunny. And the important thing with these is the rabbit's foot fur, just on the bottom here, is probably one of the most hydrophobic natural materials anyway that you can come by. So if you want something that's going to float and you want to have that kind of hare's ear nymph look, or just that white fluff, you can clip that off and it will not gather water at all. It's just completely hydrophobic. We'll get a nice bubble around it. It's just really, really good for dry flies. The reason for that is, of course, if you're a snowshoe hare, you don't want any of that snow to get your feet wet and, you know, freeze to death or lose your feet. So they have glands in their feet that'll produce that hydrophobic oil, and it also works very well for. That might be actually part of a squirrel tail, maybe. And a good old bucktail. Use bucktail for all sorts. It's a nice little guy. Probably a 2-pointer. Nice white. Clean white. You can make really nice minnows out of these. Lots of different patterns, but it's got a really nice. Go from like a chestnut brown to a dark brown. I can get a lot of flies out of one of these. Beauty. That's really nice. That's handy. I can make a lot out of that. Looks like there's a small. This one isn't nearly as in good shape. Oh, that's skunk. Oh, that's a skunk tail. Does have a very slight skunk odor. There you go. You can see the back. Quite old, needs to be cleaned up. And it just looks like some 2 bucktail pieces. It's kind of what you'd find in your fly shop. Just buying little bits to do some minnows. At least I think that's skunk. They have quite a big tail though, so I think it's just the tip. Could be badger? I don't know, badger's a lot coarser than that. That feels like skunk to me. Alright, we'll toss that over. Okay, so we got some. Oh, okay, so these actually came from town. These are surplus herbies. One of our local fly shops, I guess, or fishing shops. What are we at? Size 8 in bronze. So these are nice though. I mean, I can make some really nice streamers out of that. Let's add these back for now so I don't lose them. These are on sale for $1.99, so same thing, size 10. It's hard to say with surplus herbies. They've had the same tags since ever, so I'm not sure how to date that. It still looks somewhat older, maybe late 90s. These are definitely old though. Kirby fishhooks, bronze, ring eye, needle sharp, 100 of them. Have a look in there. Oh, cool. It's actually looks to be like a mix of. Oh yeah, okay. There is some. These look pretty old. Just with the style of the bend of the hook. They're straight eye. So there's a bunch of other hooks in there. But that's mostly what's in that box. Straight eye. That looks more like a 12. Let's say 10. It just says item number 21. Even have a hook size? Made in Japan. There you go. That helps date it when it says just Japan on it. So these would be older then. That's rather cool. There you go. I haven't actually heard of Kirby fish hooks, so if anyone knows anything about Kirby fish hooks, if they're decent quality, if I got a really good vintage box there, let me know. 100 Kirby fish hooks. Now these guys are your classics. I'm really happy to find these. These are your Mustang or Mustad hooks. These are the vintage paper boxes, which you don't see anymore. Well, they do still sell them in paper box, but these definitely aren't new ones. I can open up each of these, but come on up. Ooh, these are beauty. Look at those. Oh my god. Wow, those are really nice. That's impressive. Those are really fine wire. Those got to be 14? What does this do? Yeah, 14. There you go. Good guess. Hey, so 14. 100 of them. Mustad Viking hooks. Made in Norway. There you go. These are vintage, definitely. They are older. These are number 6. They're going to be quite a bit bigger. Same thing. Your Mustad. Much heavier hook. Down eye. Feels like a 2 or 3 thick. Or heavy. Probably tells me right on the box here. Same thing, Norway, number 6. Down eye, bronzed. Hollow point. That looks like it was $350. I don't know if that's a stock number or price. $355. Sounds like it's probably a good price. $272. I don't know if that's a stock number. Yeah, that's probably a price. Same thing. $343. These are number 8. I like number 8s. 8s, 10s, 12s. My standards. Mustang Limerick hook. Hollow point. Again, looks nice and vintage. Happy to find those. There we go. And last box. These are 4x long. That's kind of cool. Size of it looks like a 12. 4x long, 12. Oh, it actually has a price tag on the back. $4.30 from Outdoorsman, wherever that is. Not familiar with that store. Nymph streamer. I'm gonna have a look at these. It actually looks might be kind of cool. I love vintage Mustad hoods. In my opinion, they had a much better quality. There's the hook part. This was a 4x long, I think it said. Yeah, I could make some really nice nymph with those. Those are beautiful. Look at that. Really stiff, too. Hey, Pernell. Nice to see you, man. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. Okay, so that covers the box. I'm gonna move a little bit of this. Actually, we still got this. So, this is an interesting thing. Homemade bobbin. Check this out. Isn't that cool? So he's got like a tensioner that he made on this side, and he's got wire that he ran up, bent in with the spring for tension, and then made his own bobbin hole. And this is made out of, I can't read all the lettering there, but obviously you just cut a chunk of metal off of an old box or something and wrap that around. Isn't that cool? I don't think I'd ever use it, but that's cool. I mean, that's ingenuity. If you got to make yourself a bobbin, that's a pretty nice homemade bobbin. And that's what he was tying on. Your standard Thompson A model vise. That's rather cool. He's used it so much that I don't know if it'll show up on the camera there, but all the nickel plating is completely worn off the head there from how many times he's thrown flies through it. It's really neat to hold something like that. You see all the nickel plating's on one side here is gone. It's still ridiculously stable for how old that is. I mean, I'm pretty sure Thompson Model A like this, 70s probably, I think. If anyone knows, let me know. It says Thompson on the handle here. So, but that's your standard, you know, Thompson Model A vise before everything started rotating. This was in there. I'm assuming he was probably using this to wrap material and then pop it off. What's this, like knuckles? I don't know. But I think he would probably have that on his fingers, wrap it around. Anyone else got any ideas? Let me know if it's important or just a chunk of wire. I'm going to toss this stuff back in the box here and then we'll get the next bag up. There was a little box of older chenille in there, but it's mostly eaten up. There is some names on this though. Raymac Fishing Products. Oh, this is from Kamloops. Oh, there you go. There's a local store. Not one I'm familiar with, but there's some local stuff. That's kind of cool. All right, first bag. I do a chat down there so I can read the chat. So if you guys want to throw in any questions you want, I'll do my best to answer. So we got two bags. This is a smaller one to go through. I think I'm actually going to keep the bag itself in front of me here, and I'll just move this stuff up, or we're not going to have any room on the table to see, you know. Okay. Like I said, I haven't been through these yet, other than just looking through them real briefly. So I'm not sure what order stuff's going to come out in. Hopefully it'll be entertaining for everyone. So, dubbing. It almost looks like an Antron, but it's coarser. I wonder if it's got some seal fur mixed in. That could be. What do you guys think? Seal fur maybe? You see down here, the strands are very translucent. Could just be dyed seal fur. Remember, these are all quite older products, so they did have Antron back then, but it could be like an acrylic. No. Let's start here. There's another one. And just so everyone can kind of get an idea, there's the prices that he had on this stuff. 50 cents. So that kind of helps date it a bit, right? When was the last time you went into a fly shop and saw something with 50 cents? So again, it feels coarser to me, and you see the long strands there. It could be some type of synthetic wool that he's blended up, but it almost feels like a natural fiber to me. So that's interesting. I have to have a look. You can see there's some longer hairs in the bottom, almost like guard hairs. So I wonder if this is like a synthetic or a seal fur. I'm gonna keep trying to grab at the dubbing here. There you go. This one's marked as number 24. Same stuff, whatever this is. Interesting. But this one is set as 50 cents. Number 24. Dubbing. Again, nice and firm. It doesn't feel like wool. It feels a lot like a natural. I think it's seal. It feels a lot like a natural dubbing fiber. Alright, so same idea. These would be your mallard right up in the front of the breast feathers. These ones are a little bit larger than the last ones we looked at, so they're going to be a little bit closer to the flanks. Maybe about twice the size of the last bag. So these again would make great wings for your March Browns, that kind of thing. Let's toss those there. Mystery tube. Let's see if I can get it open. Man, that is an old pill bottle. Okay, so this is. I'm not sure what that is. It definitely feels like synthetic. This would make really good. Look at that. That's definitely synthetic. I'm not sure what that is though. I'd have to check to see if this is hydrophobic. You can see it sticking together. It's almost like a batting. But this color would be really good for. I'm sure he was probably using this for. Come on, brain. Adams. It's just like your Adams gray, right? With just like a hint of like a reddish brown into it. But that looks like that, since it sticks together really well, so that would dub down, like it comes off. But you could dub that down. See if I can make a little, yeah, see? Make a little dubbing noodle. That was really nice, actually. I don't know what that is. Well, if anyone knows, if you tied back then, ran into that kind of stuff, let me know what material that is. It's obviously a Adams dubbing, but I don't know if it was custom dyed or what. That's kind of cool. Just a regular standard sewing thread. That's a nice color though. Like that. It's like a burnt orange. But you know, back when they cared about thread and actually put covers around it so it didn't get dinged up. I don't know if I'd tie with that. It does look like it's probably, yeah, it could be an 8. I guess I could tie with that. I'd probably use it more for like ribbing. Some more random dubbing. It's a nice color. It's like a really light olive, almost like a chartreuse olive. I like that actually. This does feel like, get my fingers in there, have a glue at it. This definitely feels like it might be. Yeah, there's guard hairs and stuff in there. Yeah, so that's seal. This is what we're looking for seal. You can see the guard hairs and stuff there. That's definitely seal. So seal is really good for dubbing because it's well, it has a lot of different properties. Hydrophobic, obviously, because it's seal. It's a lot more durable. It wraps really nice, and it has a really good buggy look. And the hairs are similar to the polar bear, which is back here, as they're translucent. So the light really has a really nice kind of play through it, like you get, and helps to refract the light into different colors. So it can act as a really good natural attractant. Okay, it's your standard black blood quills. These look like just regular marabou blood quills in like a bulk pack. There's some webby bits there, but I think that's mostly what that's trying to be. It's like some black marabou. Let's go back there. Bag of wool, I'm assuming. This looks like wool. Yeah, this is your not cross stitch, but there's different wools in many useful green colors in your olive shades. So that's handy for bodies. You can cut off some of this and bust it into a coffee grinder for your dubbing. Let's throw this in. Let's go out there. I'll skip back to some feathers. These are really cool. I don't use these very often, but jungle cock is extremely hard to come by, if not impossible in Canada anyway. So these are the neck feathers of a ring-necked pheasant, and you can see that they have really nice iridescent little spots on them and everything. So you can cut those down and use them as basically in place of an eye for a streamer, like you would use for a jungle cock. You can also use them for many other streamer patterns and such. Good to have. There's tons there. Your standard. These are dyed, obviously, so they're just dyed. These look like wood duck. Basically would be the color of wood duck. A little bit more yellow, which should be a little slightly more brown. But I think these were imitation wood duck, so this is where you take your mallard flanks, dye them like this, and use them in place of wood duck flank. Because wood duck's just harder to come by. But I'm happy to have them. I'd use them in place, easy. We got some funky stuff, looks like, so funky orange, or sorry, pink. Those would be great for a lot of vintage fly patterns. Actually use a fair bit of pink for tails and hot spots. Same thing. These are a nice, like, fiery red, and they're hopefully you can see through on the camera. I don't know if it's coming through, but the light's goes right through these, almost like glass-like. So some of these longer fibers here I could definitely use for tailing material for mids, that kind of thing. Oh, he's cute. Look at that. Little strung orange. That's beauty. Those are nice. Look at that color. And again, it has that really nice iridescent, almost clear glass like hard fibers, so really good for tailing materials. Same thing, yellow. Not as, these are strung. You can see on the bottom, they're strung together. So these would be hackle. Probably use these more on like woolly bugger, that kind of thing, because they're not super long. But that's a nice yellow color. I quite like that. And black, same thing. Black, probably the same batch of, I think these are trying to be blood quills, basically, marabou. Just a lot older and basic. Not your primo marabou. These are really dirty colors, but I think they're trying to be like a badger. But you can see the nice iridescent almost glass-like strands on the top there, so those make really nice tailing material. It's a strand, it's all tied together. So hopefully that means that there's some choice pieces in there. Those are beautiful though. I definitely use them for hackling too. They look more, yeah, probably 10s, size 10 maybe. Most of those, maybe some 12 in there. Just your standard. These are basically trying to be chickaboo. So your marabou from a chicken is just be a Rhode Island red chicken. It's got a really nice dark. You can see some of them there. I like that color actually. And it's harder to find this really kind of dark, almost burnt brown. And the Rhode Island reds, a lot of them are more red. Well, these are pretty. These are more your classic, yeah, this would be your rooster. This is the type of rooster I have actually, named Barley. These would be your classic rooster badger with the black stripe in the middle. These would be great for woolly buggers, many different dry flies, that kind of thing. Make great tailing material too, and legs. Same thing in white. These are beautiful actually. They're in really good shape. All roughly the same size. Looks like they were picked through really nicely. I'm gonna say they're probably closer to size 10, I would say. But yeah, lots there. Good amount. Again, the 10 hanks of green. This looks like wool to me. It doesn't look like synthetic. So, wool. Add it to that one. Oh, here's some more. Probably goes the same thing. You can see the color patterns getting lighter. More wool. Again, make good dubbing, good wrapping. Looks like 4-strand. Okay, so we got a big bag of smaller items here. I'm just gonna leave that here for now. We'll get to that guy in a second. Ooh, okay, that's a big old. That's a lot. A little damage from sticking out of the bag, but that's okay. The main parts you want to use on quills like this is in the middle here anyway. It's mostly goose. There's some nice goose spikes on this one. There's some mallard on this side. The white ones are clearly like domesticated goose. That's a lot of. That's a lot of Royal Coachman. I can make a lot of slip wings out of those. A lot of. That's cool. Quite a few of them are damaged from just bad storage, but you know, like I said, the majority of the parts you want are in the middle. So I can definitely find a lot of usable material on that. There's just a ton in there. It looks like there's got to be more than one bird in that bag, I would think. A lot of quills. That's a really interesting shaped cape. Hopefully it'll show up on the camera without getting too glary. I'm gonna pop that one out because I'm not sure how they cut that. It's almost like a cape and then cut right down to the saddle. I wonder if that's what they did. Yeah, I think that's exactly what they did. So there's your cape. Here's your saddle. This will be hanging over their butt. And it's actually really nicely. That's really nice drying there. Cause you see the thin skin that it has. And it's nice and hard. Beautiful, like, that's like a really nice, like, honey, almost a slight, yeah, it is badger. A nice honey badger. Look at those. That's money. Those are beautiful. Hopefully that'll pick that up on the camera there. So in this case, you get a cape. This is your cape. You buy a cape. That's what you're getting right here. This part here is not going to be super useful for you, but there's a lot of You can use these for legs, tailing material, that kind of thing. And this would be your saddle. So if you ever wonder a difference between a saddle and a cape, this is an excellent way to explain that. Sorry about the clocks going on. But yeah, that's beauty. That's nice. I like that. What do you think? Good job, eh? That's a nice chicken. Not quite Rhode Island red. I'm not sure what species would have that really nice honey color, but it's beautiful. That was definitely worth pulling out of the bag. Much, much more beautiful when you pull it out of the bag on that one. Nice random thing. So those first bags that we pulled out, where are they? Here they are. Let's do, I got a brown? Yeah, this will probably show up better on the camera. Right? So this is your original stuff. This is what you would use before there was synthetics. Similar to like a rattan chair. And this is your synthetic. So this is Swiss straw. It's an interesting color. It's almost like a brown, almost like a wine brown color. It's a little bit got some hints of red in it compared to just straight up brown. But this is what you use for your nymphs, for your caps, thoraxes. You can make tailing material. You can make wings out of it. It's extremely useful and probably not used as much as it should be. That's a good size roll too. Definitely not what's on the roll. It's an old fishing line roll, but that's rather neat. I appreciate his organization. Another white one. Nice hackles. Strong. So probably more choice hackles. Here's just your standard mix of grizzly hackle. These are pretty large. I'd probably use these more for tailing materials and legging and that kind of thing. They look like they'd probably be too large to wrap. Might be able to use some streamer stuff, some of those, but they look like more closer to the softer end of the chicken, so more like a chickaboo. But definitely useful. Grizzly's always useful. Random lone mallard. Let's just put you here and I'll find a bag for you. Might be partridge. That might be partridge. Which is cool because I don't have any partridge. What do you guys think? Partridge? It has like, there's a few in there almost like almond shaped. Like a pheasant. But it's the wrong color and the wrong shape. So I'm assuming pheasant family. Since I don't have partridge, I don't have a lot to compare it to. What do you guys think? Partridge? It could be a type of waterfowl because it does have a lot of the fuzzy flippy stuff, and there is stuff that looks like CDC in there. What do you think? Waterfowl? Could it be a wood duck? Maybe? Possibly? Maybe wood duck breast feathers? I'm not sure exactly what those look like because we don't have a lot of wood duck. Okay, now we're getting into some of the capes. So here's a nice grizzly cape. This would just be your regular chicken. Borax cure on it. Yeah, it's nice and dry. So, regular. And we lost the bag. We'll get it later. Okay. Regular chicken. I want to say probably size 10, 12, probably get out of it. Or closer to 10. Fibers are nice and fairly stiff, but still flexible. So, nice neck. Let's see if I can get that bag back. Oops. Sorry, guys. Let me straighten that back out 1 second. Sorry about that. Kick the tripod. Always seems to happen. Yeah, it's a nice neck. See the nice the way the light plays on it. You'll get that in the water too. I always prefer a brighter neck than one that's dull. Although dull has its uses as well. And I think the more you can reflect light, the more the fish get attracted, the better it is in general. Yeah, so your standard Rhode Island red hackle, just a bag full of it from a regular barnyard chicken. Nothing terribly special in there. But again, very good for tailing materials, legs, nymphs, lots of different stuff. Okay, so this comes back to what we were talking about earlier. So this is definitely starling. You can see all the little stars in the starling, all the little white specks. This is an excellent, or one of the few things you can actually use as a substitute for jungle cock. There really isn't too much else that you can use to substitute jungle cock, because it's unique. It is what it is. But with starling, I can find one here. It's going to be nice. Let me get just one instead of a handful. There we go. Okay. These are way more. I used to have some jungle cock way back when. A long time ago. Don't have it anymore. Starling. So the nice thing about these is they're plentiful. Starlings are everywhere. And as you can see, it's not jungle cock, but it does have that nice little tip on it. So if you're doing like a steelhead fly, you can tie this in. That's basically your eye point. Might not be the best example in that whole bag. There's obviously bigger ones and brighter colored, but you can see how that would give you your eye on your steelhead streamer. And they're plentiful. I mean, starlings are everywhere. They're a nuisance bird. In most areas, they're Class C, so you can shoot them and harvest them without hunting license and everything. So handy. That's cool. Happy to have that bag full. More marabou. Yeah, I'm gonna have to tie me up some leeches. Look at that. These ones are definitely more on the marabou side. So blood quill. See the big quills there. Blood quill marabou. Black. Leeches. Good times. These are very beat up, but turkey flat. See? Quite old. They look to be quite brittle. Turkey flats, because they have I'm not sure if I can get it to do it, but there's a translucent change on a turkey flat. Kind of similar to a peacock. So they do make a really good cap for like your nymph caps and stuff like that. So if you don't have anything, it's probably not preferable. But the spots right there make really good nymph caps. There's other things that work better, but it's definitely one way to go about it. It's perfectly reasonable. So Some more pheasant. Church windows. Amazing feather. Good for all sorts. If I was stuck with just one feather to tie with, it would be probably these. These are absolute favorite. Love these things. Okay, so we got two. I'm just gonna do these both at the same time because they're basically the same thing. These are old. These are from Kmart. They're $1.83 for a hank of yarn. I remember these were like super sought after by all the tires around here. I'm super happy to have these. I've used these in a few of my videos already. I've cut some of this off, so I was so excited to see this when I originally got it. But it's Stardust yarn. So it has is it nylon and acrylic? Yeah, nylon and acrylic. So it has this like really nice iridescent sparkle to it. And when you blend it up into dubbing, it's almost like a, well, here's some of the dubbing made out of it. You can see how iridescent it is. So it's almost like a old school ice dub, basically. And it's great. You can wrap your bodies with it. And this color is just great for October caddises, lots of other nymphs. It's just a really nice orange. And I was also happy to see that it had this wonderful green in there. Same thing, Kmart quality. $1.77. Wow, that goes back a bit. Definitely can't buy a hank like this for $1.77 anymore. You can see on this one, it has almost like a golden yellow stardust in it. So that is really cool. I don't think I'll ever find any of these again. So I'm really happy to have these two that I have, and that's gonna last me a good long while. So that's really, really cool. Happy to have those. We're getting more into skins now. So actually, let's pull that one out. That's got a nice badger color to it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nice. Got a nice heavy dark. There's one loose one on the back here, so nice heavy dark badger center. And then this kind of burnt umber, like almost translucent. That's really nice. That is really cool. Look at that. That's a cool thing about feathers and birds and fly tie material like this is every skin you get is completely different. You can't get this, like I'll never be able to get two of these. Even if you had like its brother and, rebred it and everything, you're never gonna get two of the same. Yeah, just that like really nice burnt umber color. That's really awesome. I'm gonna make some use out of that one. Get in. There we go. Alright. It's a little sticky from long storage, and a lot of these were actually repackaged by the original owner's family member and put into these Costco bags. So I appreciate that. He went through a lot of work to do that. Okay, and here's some just your basic white rooster. I'm not going to pull these out because they're heavily boraxed on the back, which is good. Stops any bugs or anything from getting into them. But you can tell these are just your regular old farm white rooster. Very similar to the ones that we had on these. These will be your strung, and this will be your full saddle. Same stuff. These are just better quality, just more consistent. So this would probably be the equivalent of maybe 4 or 5 saddles, put together to get this one size all throughout. But the handy thing about something like this is you got really small feathers down here you can use for like your wing caps, for your your dry flies and that kind of thing. And then you can go up and you can pick your sizes throughout the cape. Um, my brain wants to say partridge, but it's not partridge. It is. Oh, what bird is that now? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, this is very common. Pretty much every fly tying kit you get has this in it. Um, is it partridge? Maybe? I'm really stumbling on what that is. I should know this. It has these beautiful speckled dots all the way through it, and makes wonderful tailing material, wing cases, all sorts of stuff. It's really useful. Almost as useful as pheasant feathers. Sorry, Luca. Didn't realize I was off camera there. I kicked the tripod earlier, so it probably moved on me. Um, these almost look like a cocktail style of hackle feather. See how they're almost like they're really translucent, almost like glass. So those would make wonderful tailing material um, for chironomids. I'm assuming they're not dyed. That looks like a natural color to me. Well, that's a pretty thing. Look at those. Peacock, obviously. I'm assuming peacock breast feather would be the flats of peacock. I don't know what I would use those in other than streamers. But man, those are pretty. Look at those. Just that color, the iridescent blue. I'd like to find something to tie with those, because those are beautiful. Oh, there we go. So it looks like I'm not sure if it's all squirrel tail or there's a kip tail thrown in there. Yeah, maybe. Kip tail, squirrel tails. There's a bunch in there. You can tell he's used some of the base of that one. Looks like mostly squirrel to me. That's white though. That looks like that. The white one's probably kip tail. It's not very twisty though. It's a nice flat one if it is kip tail. Let's throw that in the bird. Ugh. Oh, this is cool. Okay, that makes it worth it. Look at that. Now that is a chunk of moose. That's moose mane. How big that is. God, I don't think I've ever seen one that big. Okay, this is even cooler. Check this out. I gotta take it out of here. Okay, so a moose mane, you can use a white quill and a dark quill, and then wrap them together around the hook to give yourself an alternating white-black. I'm gonna have to do some of those for dry flies. These also make wonderful, and they're so big. These are huge. This is a really big piece. Tailing material for mayflies. There's many other uses, but God, that would probably last me a lifetime. That thing is huge. But the cool thing about this, check this out. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. When they were tan drying this or drying it in the sun, a leaf fell on it, and it's still there on the hide. And this is like absolutely rock hard. You can see the leaf. Isn't that cool? Whoever had this moose hide stretched out, you can tell by the cut marks it was cut after it was dried, obviously. But isn't that neat? That's cool. a little bit on the rough side, but I mean, as moose man, the stuff's super, super dense and everything. So, yeah, happy. That's a huge chunk of moose meat. Absolutely massive. That's gonna last a while. Um, I think that's badger. What do you guys think? It's a really fine. It's not very long. That'd be badger, wouldn't it? It's very, very coarse. Like not comfortable to pet. And it's long. What was that? That's gotta be badger. White under fur, mottled black top. Oh, anyone know? Let me know. I'm saying badger because it's too mottled to be coyote or wolf, and the hair just isn't right. It's very, very kind of coarse. Doesn't feel like dog. Looks like it make really wonderful tailoring material and legs though, for sure. That's a cute little guy. Look at that. Little grizzly rooster hen. Grizzly. Oh, is that a? I'm assuming that's rooster just because it's so shiny. Like I don't know if the camera can pick up the light on it. I was trying my best to get as much light as I could in this area. The house is pretty dark, but being that it's nighttime. What do you think? I'm assuming by how shiny that is, that's the type of rooster. But all the ends are kind of rounded like you find on a hen. That's really nice though. I really like the barring. It's got some beautiful, beautiful grizzly barring on it. And there's all these guys here are my favorite for doing like little wings on dry flies and stuff. All these little guys here. They're beauty, and there's gobs of them there. Dozens and dozens. Really nice on the neck, so. That could just be a soft rooster. I'm kind of leaning towards rooster just with how shiny the fibers are on it. The hen fibers are typically a lot more dull, so I'm gonna go with rooster. That's a nice big. Is there two? Oh, there is two. Okay, I'm not gonna bother separating because they look pretty much the same. Two rooster caves. White. So that'd be your regular old. Is it Leghorn? The white chicken? I think Leghorn's the white chicken. Yeah, white rooster. And it's borax tanned. So a little bit on the messy side, a little greasier, but it's really good to keep bugs out, so I'm grateful for that. Okay, getting to the bottom of this first bag. We've got some smaller stuff to go in now. 25 cents, look at that. I can barely read the tag anymore, that's how old this stuff is. I'm gonna say that looks like an acrylic yarn, just with the bigger fibers coming off of it. Like a really old acrylic yarn. A cross between a brown and a... No, I guess it is brown. A brown chenille. So, any flies I can use brown chenille for. Buggers, all sorts of different stuff. This looks like an older... not marabou, what's the name for it now? Mo, mo, come on, brain. Mo, mohair, mohair, in pink. That'd be really good for salmon flies, actually. I quite like that color. That's a nice egg color. Put that there. Got some green chenille, 40 cents. It'd be nice to go into a fly shop and get stuff for 40 cents again, eh? And this is Swiss straw in pink. And this was 60 cents, so apparently that's special. It cost a bit more than the chenille. Swiss straw was actually kind of hard to come by in the 70s. It wasn't super common until they started producing it a lot. Um, this is 50 cents in a pill bottle with his tag on it. I'm assuming it's some type of dubbing. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. So there's other fibers in there. I don't know if that's like, this is the same. It's almost like it has almost a grease consistency to it. Um, but it's gonna dub it up a bit. Look at that. It just dubs like no one's business. That's tight. That's so cool. I don't know what I'd use blue for. It's kind of almost like a royal blue. I could probably use it for ants or beetle or different ones, but whatever that material is really cool. I'm not sure. Probably lost to time now. Not something you can buy anymore. There's another one. I already have one of these out and I've been using it for a while. I'm assuming he mixed it with a number of different things, but basically just old school beeswax in a muffin tin. Hey, one bag down. Let's go get the big bag. Sorry guys, just catching up on the chat 'cause I got it on a different phone here. I am filming this in wide. I know you guys are watching it in vertical, but when I post it up live or edit it and post it, it'll be in wide so you can see more. So if I am off camera a little bit, I'm not super worried about it. You guys can check it, check back on any of the items that you want to look at later when the wide's posted. Okay, I've got this whole bag here to go through still. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys, but that's a lot of stuff. I wonder if I can get it all on the table. Like I said before, I know a lot of people jumped in later. I don't know really what's in here. Obviously it's a clear bag, so I had a quick poke through. Um, there's very few items I snagged out of here. It's been in my garage in storage for a couple weeks now at minus 17 or so to kill any bugs or whatnot that's been in there before I bring it in the house. Okay, I'm going to try and speed up a bit here, and unless there's something that's, really got my heart that I want to look at, I'm just going to go through a little quicker because this bag's at least twice the size of the last bag, if not bigger, so. Ah, I wish my brain would tell me what type of bird that was. I want to say partridge, but these are nicely brown, speckled ones. You can see they're dyed dark brown. That's a really nice dark brown dye, actually. Yeah, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Those guys. Normally black and white. These ones here, same feather, just brown. Some more of them, same feather. Oh, those partridge. I really wish I could remember what bird that was. I feel dumb because it's a really obvious bird. I wanted to say mallard flank, but these might be wood duck. Because they're really, really fine. See? Hey, these are wood duck. They have that, they're gray, but they have a little bit of a color cast to them. So, probably wood duck. Oh, my battery on my one light gave out. Let me see if I can reset it. That might help a little bit. So I'll speed this up a little bit. White mallard for $1. Or not white, yellow. Kind of a mustardy olive. On feathers are kind of encroaching on the other stuff. Stay together. More wood duck. Even more wood duck. More mallard. I haven't decided. But like, so mallard isn't normally that. Hopefully the camera will pick it up. That fine. That's really fine barring on there. And like I said, wood duck's hard to come by, so I don't get to play with it as often. So I'm thinking wood duck. Wow, those are green. Holy, look at that. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. Peacock? Peacock neck? Probably peacock neck feathers. So again, you could use these in place of jungle cock eyes for streamers. More mallard. There's some flanks and some breasts in there, and in between the flank and breast, will you find that? More. These look like they probably are Hungarian partridge or some type of duck. I'm not sure. If you know what type these are, let me know, eh? You see, they're almost like a church window color. I'm assuming waterfowl with the amount of dander fluff underneath. So it keeps them warm and waterproof. Oh, wow. That's a lot of CDC. That's a lot of CDC. Oh, that's really cool. Check that out. Someone went ape crazy and plucked all the CDC out of a couple ducks. That's a lot of CDC. Smaller fibers, but that'll be really cool for nymphs and such. I'm really happy to have that, because CDC ain't cheap. It's hard to come by. Oh, cool. Okay, I got a whole part of a bird here. Let's see the wing there. Okay, so that is... Yeah, okay, so it's a type of pheasant. I think. Those are definitely pheasant feathers. And you can see around the neck there. It looks like a ringneck pheasant, like golden pheasant, but not. This is gray. Interesting. Female, maybe. Yeah, well, it's got nice, got both sides of the wings, so I can use those for slips. That's really cool. So maybe a female pheasant. Is that what I'm looking at? Let me know. Definitely a type of feather. Oh, that's pretty. Let's take this one out. Look at that. Almost looks like a hat. Not sure how they dried that one. Here's the back. You can see the hackle feathers on this side, and then all of a sudden they're flipped this way on this side. It's almost like they folded it inside out. I'm not really sure how they managed that. Beautiful red color, though, eh? I like that. That's beauty. Well, a similar one to the one we had earlier. I can bother pulling this one out because it looks very similar. Nice dark brown barred rooster. Nice big feathers too. That's a pretty one. That's more like a reddish wine color than the last one. It was a lot more darker, so. Wood duck and or mallard, still haven't decided. Another batch, another bag. Put them with the other ones. This looks like just a mess of rooster. Some nice iridescent ones in there, though, you can see. Hopefully you can pick the light up on it. Good amount in there, though. Looks like a whole cape. Let's switch over to something away from feathers. Here's another muskrat. This is a full skin, though. There you go. Full muskrat skin. Folded inside out like a sock. There's your inside. And this is where you take your, Adams gray dubbing from right there. Oh, it's always good to have a couple extra muskrat skins. I like dubbing with muskrat for sure. Another one. Wow. Okay, I definitely have enough. Whatever this is, whether it's wood duck or mallard, I got a whole pile now. Oh, it's fur. What is that? Okay, so it has an under fur and a coarse guard hair. And it's tanned. Mink, maybe? It's not muskrat, because it has much longer guard hairs. What do you guys think? Mink? Maybe? Some type of small animal. But there's two of them. It's the back of the other one. No writing on them. Definitely would be a dubbing material for sure. Another one. Flank feather. Again, wood duck or mallard. Yeah, let's get into some of these. There's a bunch of these on the bottom, so I'm just going to go through these rather quickly unless they're rather pretty. Right, they're standard grizzly cape. Another white one. This one's strung, so strung white hackle. Got a few of those already. That's a big cape. That's a big grizzly. And you can see some spots there where someone's used a bunch out of it, but there's still lots left. Nice barring on it. White hackle. You know, that's almost like a Cree color, eh? Quite like that. It's a little on the dirty side, but it's beautiful. Nice long ones coming off the top. I mean, that would be wonderful hackle material. Really, really light iridescent too. I like that one. That's gonna go in my regular rotation. That's for sure. Oh, that's pretty. Hey, look at that. That's pretty unique. Like it's almost like a cream, but it's got that nice red mixed right into it with a little bit of grizzly barring. That's really cool. I don't think I've seen one like that. I'm not sure exactly what I would use that for, but I'm going to find some uses for it, that's for sure. That's pretty cool. I'm definitely not running out of grizzly anytime soon. Grizzly. Pheasant fibers. Yeah, the color on that one was absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna see there's some smaller stuff on the bottom here. I'm trying to stay somewhat organized, but I don't have a clue what order any of this is in, so. 50-cent dubbing. This looks like whatever that material is, it's really dense. It almost feels like wool, but not. I'm not sure what that is. It's older. This is kind of neat. Oh, the camera will pick that up. It's got like a light green chartreuse mixed in with some brown. And the chartreuse almost looks like little bits of like CDC or something. Like we're ground in there. That's interesting. I'm going to try some of that. Olive green switch straw, 60 cents. I'm gonna move you guys just a hair here. Make them out of frame a bit. There we go. Okay. 60 cents more olive green Swiss straw. Black, in this case, like a almost like a gunmetal gray Swiss straw. Another muskrat, full skin. Flip that out. I won't bother taking that one out. It'll be the same as the other. What are we at? 3 muskrats now? 2 more squirrel tail. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so that would be. What's that? That one's got me a little confused there. Okay, so we got the chickaboo. That's definitely pheasant. I'm guessing golden pheasant because of the one feather there. Trying to wrap my head around what part of the bird that would be. Neck. Yeah, that must be neck and down its shoulder, perhaps. That's normally where the chickaboo is. Oh, got a whole bird here. That is a whole pheasant. Nice. Look at the neck there. Nice marbling there. That's the neck, like the back of the neck here. And the wings. Get lots of flies out of those wings. Substantially, surprisingly heavy. That is a. Well, I think that's elk. Yeah. That's cool. I don't have a big chunk of elk like that. See the tanning there? I think it's elk just because of the way you look at the way the grain's structured and just how smooth on the top it is. I'm thinking elk. Either that or deer, obviously. Could be mule deer. Got random bag of, what is that? Female pheasant? Partridge? What are you? No, that is definitely a pheasant feather. That must be a female pheasant, just torn up and processed into a bag. I'll have to go through that and sort it out. Female pheasant, lots of feathers. Little ball of dubbin. Goose, I'm thinking. Whole bunch of goose feathers. You're doing slips and wings. Those are beautiful, actually. They're a little bit old and, dry, so I'd have to rehydrate these, but those are beautiful. All nicely cut off and everything. Prepped, ready to go. Running out of table room. Regular Brahma backyard hand feathers. So just your regular wing feathers. So again, use those for March brown wings, different type of dry fly wings, wet fly wings. I can get some buyouts out of some of the flight feathers, smaller nymphs. Another grizzly hackle, or cape, or saddle, cape, grizzly cape, grizzly saddle. Okay, running out of tables. Oh, that's pretty. That is a really, really dark grizzly. Look at that. That's black, but it's like a dark brown. There's like a lot of iridescent color through it. That's really pretty. That's just a regular old rooster, but dang. Like that. That's cool. Have to tie some with that for sure. Oh, here we go. This is interesting. Almost looks like a paintbrush. Big old thing of peacock. Can't ever have too much peacock, so yay. Look at that bulbous thing though. Looks like a avocado. Peacock avocado. Yeah, wherever he was getting these from. Look at this. You get this nice cape here. It's $8. $8. What a beautiful thing. Color is just awesome. Ooh, it says grade 1. Oh, that is pretty. Look at that. You know, it's been all nicely trimmed out on the back. I'm not sure if that's a special breed of hen or not, but some effort went into preserving that. It does have a little grade 1 sticker on it there. That is really nice. I don't really want to take it out because it's look nice and small, so maybe 12, 14s. Nice honey color though. That's pretty. I like that one. Okay. Okay, so same kind of weird dubbing as the other one. So now we're looking at, oh, look at this. Gold, brown, dark green. Oh, it's Antron. Look at that. So this is actually, I wonder if that's Antron too then. This is just really old Antron. Look how shiny that is. It has like some UV stuff mixed in or something. That's buggy as all get out. That's really cool. Okay, so cool. I guess he wrote his mix on there. So 8 gold, 2 brown, 2 dark green. Antron to make this. Pretty neat. Wonder if he wrote it on this one. I didn't pay attention. No, unfortunately. That's just gray, so I mean, like, what else? Same thing. Oh, no label. But it's like a light tan. It's got that shininess to it. I guess that's Antron. Okay, well, good to know. Antron. A little old, same thing, that sparkly yarn. It's really hard to come by now. Nice and brown. Put that with you. Looks like he was selling it on this, so he was taking it and winding it with the same stuff in the green. This is a neat color. I'm hoping it'll come through on the camera there, but it's got like greens and orange and brown kind of all mixed together in there. Reminds me of like a weird kind of green pumpkin. That's super bugged. That's like a rainbow mix or something. 50 cents. Number 22. So he must have had a book written down with the different, dubbing mixes that he did up. Okay, so here's just another random bag. Oh, this is the stuff. Okay, here, I'm gonna pull this out. Just the one here. This is green in the bottom. I'm just gonna pull a little bit of it out. It's all mixed up. So this is Fentex, and it's a really old Fentex that they stopped making about. It's a completely different process now. This is way finer. They stopped making it 17 years ago. It's made in Canada. But this stuff is just amazing body material. Super durable. It floats like a cork. Unfortunately, you can't buy it anymore, so I'm really happy to run across it when I do. But different types of chenille, different types of yarns. They look to be all older. vintagey. So that's cool. We'll go through that later. Not gonna bother digging that all apart. Yarn is yarn. But I still have this whole bag here too, which I don't think I'm gonna go through completely. I don't see anything crazy in there. You guys can see there's lots of different chenille colors, all older stuff on a bulk. I like this older, like really small stuff, like on the bottom here. It's like super thin, almost like a micro chenille. That's cool. Let's leave you there for now. Some more, not mallard, but some type of duck, flying feathers. Some really buggy dark green for 50 cents. Chenille, that'll make excellent. This is a wonderful color for dragonfly nymphs around here, and I like to use chenille just this size, so that whole spool is probably going to turn into dragonfly nymphs. There's a bunch of these. I'm just going to kind of blow through them. They're all old vintage mustad hooks. I'm just going to go through them all here quick. There's a bunch of them at the bottom here. They all feel full so far. I do like how he actually took one out of the box. These are made in England. These mustad. Canadian hook. W brand. Huh. I've never seen those before. If anyone knows anything about those, let me know. Yeah, same thing. English hook. Made in England. Interesting. Okay. Those weren't something I've come across before. Here's your old school mustad. Awesome to have all these vintage hooks, so if I tie up special orders for people, if they wish to pay for it, they can have the original vintage mustad hooks, because they're hard to come by. I'm assuming beeswax. He might have mixed this together with different things, but it's pretty solid in this rock hard, so I'm assuming he did. Some random yarns there. Nice colors though. Very English tweedy colors. Not gonna bother pulling those open. Here's a very small. What is that? What bird is that from? Maybe one of those. Oh, those little tiny black roosters. You can see the skin for the cape here. Unless they dyed it black, I guess it's possible. But there's that one. I can't remember the name of it. It's a black rooster that actually has black skin, black beak, black eyes. Kind of creepy. I think someone was trying to pull some CDC out. Another nice dark barred. Some. Oh, those just look like waterfowl. Or chicken? Yeah, it's probably chicken. White chicken. Okay, here's some more colorful stuff for you guys. Look at that brightness. That's wonderful. It's just like really iridescently bright there, eh? That's cool. That's gonna make some really nice streamer stuff. And blue. That's a wonderful steelhead blue. That's gonna come in handy. And yellow. And lighter yellow. And kind of a chickaboo with some hackle mixed in, different color. Just random stuff, looks like. Interesting dyed green, like a dark green black. Again, you can see the translucent. Those might make good paragon tails. Another one. Some kind of dirty, regular rooster hackles. Gobs them. Oh, here's some pretty things. Okay. So golden pheasant. That's one of my favorite feathers. From a pretty feather, anyway. There's a lot there. I can make a lot of royal coachmans. You got your golden feathers off top there. That's cool. Can always use more of that. It's hard to come by. Especially in that nice dark orange. Like this is, that's a nice, real dark orange. Oh, there's a couple in here. A couple more. Look at that. Another golden pheasant. And then what is it? Queen Anne? Is that what that one is? I always forget the name of this one. Queen or Princess or something like that. There's two more neck capes. More burnt brown hackle. Just regular backyard Brahma chicken. Not sure. Little neck feathers. Maybe down the breast. There's a nice strung badger. That's really thick. These are gonna be good for buggers. More hackle. Another strung hackle. It's kind of like a light badger. Gray. Black hackle. These ones are rather thin, but again, good paragon. More pheasant. Looks like mostly around the neck, church windows, and the almonds. When I say neck, I mean more shoulder. Here you go again. I wonder if this is just female pheasant. Is that what that is? Female pheasant? I'm looking at? Or is it a partridge? I'm not sure in the house. But I've got a few bags of them. Same thing. I'm guessing female pheasant. Now I'm looking at it. That could be. They are less, not as colorful as the males. Bunny. I think this is bunny. Rabbit. The tan skin is white and it's really thin and it's goofy. So, say rabbit. Extra dubbing. Well, looks like we're getting more into furs here, guys, which is good. Whoa, what are you? Any big muskrat? I'm not sure. There's a hide. Some more beaver? Oh yeah, that's more beaver. Okay, so two more squares of beaver. That's cool. I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? What do you think that is? Big, um, wiry. Not the best flat and tanning job on it. It's kind of a mess. I don't know. No idea. What do you guys think? Oh, this one's easy. Nice big olive chunk of whitetail. Really dense. It'll be fun to spin. It's big chunk. Look at that. It's like a burrito. Deer here. A little squirrel tail. Little guy. You are coyote. Or wolf. That's either coyote or wolf. I'm thinking wolf maybe. With how variegated it is. Wolf. It's a little dark to be coyote. Little coyotes do get darker, but I'm guessing wolf. Nope. Yeah, this is definitely a wolf. This is a wolf mask. You can see that's his ears there. At the bottom. Top of his head. Goes down to his neck. Wolf mask. So that's probably a wolf too. It looks the same. Brown straw, 50 cents. No, Swiss straw. So that's a nice, like, almost coppery color. Well, that's pretty. Look at you. You're a really dark, kind of burgundy, almost wine color cape. Really fine. It's beautiful. Look how dark the skin came out of the dye. That's pretty. Happy with that. And the pile of you. Running out of table. Okay, here's some dyed deer hair. So that'll be whitetail belly. Tail? Tail. Either way. Dyed whitetail. This is. This has a tag in it. Oh, it's Angora rabbit wool. Nice. Well, that's a cool find. Look at how fine that is. Look at that. Wow, that's crazy. That is cool. It's so soft. Oh, that's neat. There's the other tag. There's the brand for it. 100% hair, 7 grams worth. Interesting. Oh, little matching dude for that other one, except he's nice green, like an olive green. Almost chartreusey. Oh, that's cool. Nice, see they did a good job with the tanning on the back. The kip tail was kind of bent all out of shape, but the fur's still in nice shape. Golden pheasant head. These are nice for streamers. Off the back here. Lots of different flies they can tie with that. Holy cow, another one. Oh, I got 2. There's another moose man. Won't bother pulling it out of the bags, but look at the size of that. Look how big that is. Oh, it's ridiculous. That must have been a big moose. Look at how long those are. Normally when I buy moose mane in the fly shop, it's, you know, but that is retarded. That's huge. Let me know if you think that's big. Getting down to the bottom here, guys. Finally. Oh, that's a really nice deer hair. I think it's like roe deer or something. Maybe not. You can see it's also got leaves in the tanning in the hide from what was tanned outside. So if someone tanned by themselves, probably the guy that owned the shop. But I wonder if I can get it to slide down here one sec. You can see how thin the hair is. Not a thick patch at all. So, not belly, maybe like flank. That might be flank. Would that be like coastal deer? That just doesn't look like whitetail to me, or even mule deer. It's like really, really dark and small. Must be coastal deer. Oh, missed one hook box. Mustad. Finding these old hooks is really cool. The quality was so much different back then. Okay. Those are neat. Streamer stuff, I guess. The coloring on them is beautiful. I wonder if he used Kool-Aid for those. Ah.